Hey everybody, it's your boy Coach Vic. I am doing some Facebook research for your audience, your next audience, and so I figured you will want to learn how to do this while I'm doing it. It makes it easier since it's real. So what I'm doing right now is looking for a different audience that I can use um, to find new clients and new people who will be interested in what I have to offer, which is my coaching services. So right now you're looking at this Live Marketo Nation, and this is just one of the websites I was checking out because it came through. So first, let's just jump in. Here I have a bunch of tabs open, and that's an ad. Okay, so as you see here, I typed in Frank Kern as an interest. And when Frank Kern came up, you can see all the different page likes. So I typed in Frank Kern here, and I hit page likes up here. And from there, you can see all the different things. So anybody who likes Frank Kern, Facebook says they also are liking these things. And this affinity score here is basically, so I put this over there just so you can see how likely your audience is to like a given page compared to everyone else on Facebook. So if someone likes Frank Kern, they're going to like Joe Polish a lot, the No BS Inner Circle, Ryan Dice, Jay Abraham, Russ Ruffino, Dan Henry, etc. Now, this is important because you see how high these numbers are. 776. Okay, well, I don't want to use Frank Kern's own name. 4,720 affinity score, 4,124 affinity score, 3,978. These high affinity scores, not only do they tell you, how likely these people will like something similar, but because the affinity score is so high, it just means that the people in this group like very similar things. So let me give you a different example. I'm gonna make a new tab here. No, don't leave. Duplicate. I'm gonna make a new tab here, right? And just so I can show you something. So let's get rid of Frank Kern, right? Let's put Anik Singal, one of my mentors, right? Right, page likes. Let's click see more, and see more. I just do it 4 times. So look at this. Look, his own name is below what would Jesus say. And his affinity score is 2,643, right? Next is Relay Hero Jesus, 859 affinity score. So what this is telling me is that, no, I can't just start hitting up Christians and they'll like the things I'm having to offer, because I'm looking for different entrepreneurs and people who have an entrepreneurial mindset or who want to get into entrepreneurship. It's just saying that, look, this person also likes or is also a Christian. So if I start targeting Christians, I'm not going to hit many people that actually like what I like. Does that make sense? So you got to be very selective with the names that you target, because if I use Onyx and Gull as part of my audience when I'm making the ad, I'm going to be throwing my ad to a lot of people who like Onyx for different reasons than what I need them to like him for. On the other hand, when I use Frank Kern, the people that like Frank Kern stuff is going to also like these other things. And these are all people and all little pages and businesses and things of that nature that align with my offering of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship help. Does that make sense? So think carefully about that. This affinity score will tell you a lot, right? So now later on, I can use Onyx name. So let's say I have a very specific audience, which is what I'm trying to do, which is what this affinity score is going to help me, find names. So that's great. Now, later on, when I'm like, I exhausted the audience I'm going to create, how I show you how to do it, then I can do more broader topics and broader names like Onyx name. So it doesn't matter if I use Onyx name in the future, because the Facebook will know enough about me and people I that resonate with my content to be like, hey, okay, I understand that I'm sending this to people who also are Christian and who also like these other things, but I'm smart enough to know I won't send this to Christians because I know they're not going to resonate with this, and I won't send it to these other people. I'm just going to send it to the group that likes Onyx for his entrepreneurial side, right? And then maybe it might dabble with a couple of like, this person, this group of people here may also like it. Let me test it with them because I know exactly what I'm looking for. But that's how it works. So anyways, going back, for your first audience, you want to be very specific. This is why these high affinity scores are good. So what I do is I copy the name Frank Kern and I put it on a text file list. And it just says, let me make this bigger just so you can see it. Oh, that's too big. It just says, I have a mid-level, a broad level, and a specific level. So broad, middle, medium level, and specific. So right now, when you're first starting out and you need your first audience, you want it to be as specific as possible. So again, when you put in a name and you see all these other names that you have to know. Now, if you don't know who these people are, it's fine. This is what all these other tabs are for. So open these other tabs so I can check them out. Okay, who is this Joe Polish person? And you're reading his, Joe Polish is the founder of Genius Network, Genius X, and president of Piranha Marketing and creator. See more, right? So you can get to understand what these pages are about, and you want to like, oh, okay, this people who like this page are entrepreneurial minded, and they probably will like my stuff too. So great, So at this point, I'm just verifying the affinity stuff. Okay, what's the next one? Marketing magnet. Obviously, people who like this will like digital marketing and things that I'm looking to, the type of people I'm looking to reach. So great. This is just proving that, the affinity score is high, and it's proving that, yes, these are if they're liking these things too, they're more likely to like me and what I'm trying to offer. One more example, Jay Abraham. He's a big name. If you don't know, big marketer, proven business leader, top executive coach in the United States. He's a big name. So I'm like, oh yeah, someone like Jay Abraham. Look, they also probably like, Rich Dad World, which is not Robert Kiyosaki's page, but based on it, I guess. Dan Kennedy, who is a marketing genius or ad copy genius, and obviously Frank Kern, which I typed in first. And yeah, so all I'm doing here, one more time, is just verifying the affinity scores, just making sure like, yeah, okay, all these people or all these interests seem to be good. Now, as you go on, right? So, all right, Frank Kern is good. All these people seem to be good. You can check as many as you want. I also take a name and I copy them, right? So I looked up Joe Polish already. Let's see what he comes up with, right? His group is small, but his affinity score is high. So maybe he'll also be a good name to add into my audience. So I'm gonna take this other page I use with Onic, and I'm gonna get rid of, where's Onic? Get rid of it here. I'll type in Joe Polish. I press enter, and as you see, nothing happened. His audience is so small, it doesn't register. Okay, I go next to the list. No BS inner circle. Can I copy this, please? Stop being a dick. Okay. All right. Type in no BS inner circle. Press enter. The audience is too small. This will not be something you can add to your audience as you're making an ad. Ryan Deiss. I know this is going to be big because this is how I found Frank Kern. I know of Frank Kern, but I didn't realize he had such a large following on Facebook. Anyways, same thing. Ryan Deiss, you see your name came up. Boom, you can see. Traffic and Conversion Summit. Justin Brook, Trey Lulin, Ben Atkins, Ezra Firestone. So Traffic and Conversion Summit, that's obviously going to be in my niche. Look at these affinity scores. These are magnificent. Justin Brook. Who the hell is Justin Brook? Let's take a look. You see somebody I care about. Entrepreneurs who want to quit grinding someday. Absolutely. People who like him are definitely in my audience. I can close that, right? Is Ezra Firestone. Who the hell is that? Okay, and video blog with my wife. So far I can't really tell. Smart marketer. Okay, smart marketer is his brand. So if you're liking this guy, then it's a good chance that you'll like what I have to offer as well. Okay, great. This is just verifying the affinity score in case these are different people. All right, so going back to my original page, we just go down the list. Russ Ruffino, I know who he is, but let's just see if he has a follow. If his name is big enough on Facebook where he can be followed, or have him as a people who like Russ Ruffino. Nope, not big enough. You press enter, nothing happens. Dan Henry. Why are they making it so hard to copy these damn things? All right, let's see. Dan Henry, Boston Red Sox. What? So Dan Henry came up. Oh, I don't know. This is a different Dan Henry. But let's just say I wasn't paying attention, and I'm like, okay, damn, these are crazy high affinity scores. Let's check these out. How come I don't see Dan Henry and Luke Kennard fans? I wonder who Luke Kennard is. You know who Luke Kennard is. Come on now. Oh, well, this is not an entrepreneur. Oh, okay. Well, what about this once a wildcat, always a wildcat? Like, are we in Kentucky? What's going on? Ben Franklin, Ohio. I don't know what this is, but these are all sports people or people affiliated with sports. Franklin Voice. Was it soccer? Yeah, more sports. So the point is, even though for whatever reason I typed in the name, it gave me this name instead. And you see these crazy high affinity scores, but you can see like these aren't who people I am trying to target. So obviously I would not use who is this, Dan Henry, as someone to include in my audience where I'm going to target when I make my ad. All right, so you just keep doing this. You keep doing this. Now, here's the thing. When you start to run out of names, yeah, Ezra Firestone's no good, right? You start to run out of names or you don't know where to start, right? I knew where to start. I typed in the name, Ryan Deiss, and it got me started. But let's say you don't know a name. Go to Google. Say top internet marketers, right? And then everybody makes these lists. You know, try and get a current list. Don't get one list from like 2016 or some bullshit like that. Get a list like this one. Look at that, 2016 bullshit. Get a list 2016 bullshit. Get a list that's current. So if the help, just go to tools here on the right and just say, you know, past year, right? Okay, this one was updated in 2019. Usually when they say that, I don't know if I believe them, but you know, what the hell. Gary Vee, Neil Patel, Matthew Woodward, Ann Handley, Rand Fishkin. So what I can do is just pick a name, right? I normally start at the top of the list, but since I'm already here, let's pick a name because I've done this list before. And let's go to this one because this is one I was modifying a lot. Let's see, does Rand Fishkin get it? Nope, doesn't have a thing. No, let's go to the top. Gary Vaynerchuk. He's a big name. A lot of people like Gary Vee, but here's the thing about Gary Vee and using him as an audience. All right. So obviously he comes up and it's a big page, right? But look at these affinity scores. The reason is a lot of people like Gary Vee for different reasons. So it's not just entrepreneurs, right? So like, I don't want to be targeting people who like UFC because they're less likely to resonate with someone who's looking to help coach people in their business or to get off the bench in the first place. Tony Robbins is the same thing. Big name. Look at low that affinity scores when you put Gary Vee. And again, Tony Robbins is not going to be, a lot of people like Tony Robbins for different reasons, not just entrepreneurs. You know, I want something specific, just like I had with Frank Kern. All right. But this is how you will find it. And now this is what you do. Once you do this enough and you make a big list of the specific names, the medium level names, which you mean they're kind of, you know, broad. So let's give you an example of a medium level name, Neil Patel. Here, let's get rid of Gary Vee. Neil Patel, digital marketer, very famous, right? You see some of the names we had before. Nice affinity scores, you know. But notice how quickly they drop. They don't drop that fast, to be honest, but they drop a little faster than I would like, especially compared to Frank Kern, right? So you went from Neil Patel at 2,200, then Mike Dillard at 18, then 16, then 11, 12, 11, 9. So it's dropping kind of quickly, right? Moz.com is a tool. Keep is a tool. Digital Marketer is a platform. Marketo, that's the webpage we started with, etc. Guy Kawasaki, these are all, you know, smaller names. So this is a little bit more broad. So people who like Neil Patel will most likely be in the digital marketing niche, but it's not as super targeted to someone who's like, oh yeah, I'm hungry. I'm in there. I'm ready to, you know, any type of information I can get in this niche, I'm ready, right? So you never know who's be looking. So that's more mid-level. And broad level, I tried Marketo right before I started this video. Let's see that one. Okay. Marketo. Right. So look at this. It went from here to here. Look at that affinity score. Digital marketer, key, Moz, Amy Porterfield, Salesforce. See, that's not, we're already out. We're already out. Salesforce, you know, people like Salesforce can like it for different reasons. Right. So this is broad. So after I have my pixel set up and I use my specific audience and I exhaust that quickly or eventually, I go to the the medium level audience. I exhaust that at some point. Now my pixel is so dialed in and Facebook knows exactly the type of people I want. I can start reaching a broader audience. And this is when the broad level audiences can be used. Right now, it says only 90K to 100K people are in this audience, and that's totally fine. It says it right here. Totally fine. Now, what we want to do is look for an audience. We're going to build an audience that's about 500,000 to 1 million, between 500,000 and 3 million, roughly. Sometimes, depending on how specific it is, you may be able to go to like the 200,000. That might be fine if it's super specific. But as you go broad, you want to go bigger. So when your time, you see here, I already started. I just started putting in some interest here that some are good, some are okay. It was more just to get some numbers. But let me copy these so I can actually do some real research with them later. So let me get rid of these. I'm going to leave Ryan Dyson there. All right. So I have a list. Also I have Frank Kern. I remember that. So Frank Kern is one of the big ones. And in my interest, additional interest, I'm at another guy, Frank Kern. Boom, he's in there. And we're looking up here at audience size, right? So right now the audience is super tiny. But as I add more names to the list, we'll add MailChimp because that's an email marketing service that, only email marketers, well, not only, but many email marketers use. Now, regular companies use MailChimp as well to get their emails out. So again, you got to be careful with these audiences because it's not as specific. So MailChimp's in there, and look, it went from specific to, it says it's okay, but it's still closer to broad because again, it's a lot of people in there and they're not as targeted. They're not as specific type of people. Because again, I can be a person who works at a big company and I use MailChimp because I like their tools, or I can be the solo affiliate marketer that uses MailChimp. So as I build my list, the potential reach, I don't want 12,000. That's too tiny. I want to be about between, if it's very specific, 200,000 is fine. But if it's more general, or more general, then you want about 500,000 to roughly 3 million. And then let Facebook do its work. Okay, so I think I covered everything. So just to recap, you need to start finding people and names in your niche, right? If you have nothing, you don't know anything, go to Google, type in top 10 whatever in your niche. So if you're golfing, you're doing golfing for your niche, top 10 golf tees, right? Boom, look at these different brands, and then you can go through the list, start putting stuff on there. Once you get your starting point, you'll put that into the interest tab. You'll go, let's try Jay Abraham, just because, golf is our example. It's just to show something. But we're here, Jay Abraham, author, and we're in the page like section, and we're just looking at the different names. First, we're looking at the affinity score. Wow, these aren't even in order. Put these bad boys in order. Oh, they are. I'm tripping. I thought it was 5. So, like, looking at the affinity score, okay, the affinity score looks good. Hey, I'm not really sure who these people are or what these websites are. So then you start to click on them. If you use your scroll button, you just push the scroll button down like a button. It'll open a new tab for you, or you can just right click and say open a new tab. And you start checking out these pages, right? The Jay Abraham page. Oh, okay, I see who he's about. Russ Ruffino, Clients on Demand. I know what this is about, but if I didn't, I can just kind of browse the page real quick and kind of get an idea. Like, oh yeah, he helps entrepreneurs as well, coaches, in fact. So, boom, that might be a good audience for me personally, right? Dan Henry. Who the hell is Dan Henry? We help thousands create wealth online. Oh, that's right up my alley. So if people like him, and look, I have friends who like him as well, then most likely, boom, people in his audience will be good to target as well. So yeah, that's how you do it. And then once you get your audience, boom, you're ready to start. Now you'll know if your audience is working right, if you did this right, if your ads resonate with people. You'll get a lot of engagement, a lot of different I won't say comments, but just more people will commenting, more people will click on the link, even if they don't opt in, but more people will engage with the ad. That's how you know. But if they're not actually doing what you need them to do, maybe it's the audience, maybe it's the ad itself, but then you can at least start. And now at least know how to do your research. By the way, this research will also help you just figure out what else is in your area or your niche, what else is going on. Because as you go through these different pages, you're just seeing what they're talking about. And as you see what they're talking about, you might be able to see what's important to your potential audiences, your potential clients, whatever's hot in the streets. So it's also good research just to keep you in the loop of what's going on. So you're not totally out of the loop because, you're so focused on what you do. All right, so that's it. That's how you do Facebook research with audience insights. Build your audience. This is how you can target people who will resonate with your message, aka they will like what you have to say, so they'll look at your ads, click it, go to your landing page, check you out, right? And if it's not, if the people that you looked up aren't your target audience, they're not gonna check you out. They're not gonna give a damn about you. So just to come back and start this again. Now this process can take a long time if you do it right. It should take a couple hours as you're going through and you're really researching. And it's worth it because basically if you do this wrong and you basically, the way to do this wrong is just to rush it. You're basically throwing money away because once you start your ad, you're going to show it to people who don't care about what you have to say. They're not the people that should be listening to you or who you should be targeting. So you're going to be telling Facebook, show these people in my ad, and they're not going to give a goddamn, not at all. And you're just wasting money. But if you do this right, then the people who check you out are going, oh yeah, oh, I like what this guy has to say. I'm down. Let's check him out and see if he's right for me. Okay, great. Well, it's been fun. This is Coach Vic signing off. Hopefully you guys understand this. If you have any questions, let me know. But I will talk to you later. Peace. One last thing I forgot to tell you guys. There's a couple of things to note. If you're looking here, I'm looking here and I want to make sure that if you're running out of ideas, what you can do is go ahead and open a new tab of one of the pages. And if you want ideas like, okay, damn, I found some people, but not enough. Go ahead and check out, add to the group, add yourself to the group or like the page. And then once you like the page, now you can see different pages that you can try to check out. This will give you more ideas of different people and groups that you can try to put into audience insights, which will give you more ideas. So if you start running out of ideas a little soon, you can do the Google method, or you can just like a page. And then obviously, once you're done finding out the different things, just unlike the page if you feel like it. In that way, boom. It's no longer a like page. Now, obviously, if you like the page, then stay, don't unlike it. But it's another way to find out more examples. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention, checking out your audience size as well as the country. So I'm checking everything in the United States. Now, there's certain names or people that if you put them in here, there's no one in the U.S. that would like them because they're not from the U.S. They're from different countries and they serve different countries. So that's just something else to keep in mind. How would you know that happens? Well, this will all be blank. So something will come up, but it'll all be blank. And if you were to change the country to to a different country, then you'll see that, okay, here's all the likes, here's all the interest. So that's something else that you'll also know. Also, well, I think that's it.